Gobuto is out here going ham.
Right. Gabuto. That boy jumped
and
up.
then you already know, oh man, Hakudo. Did you say you wasn't ever gonna forget his name? Did you say you wasn't gonna ever forget his name? What's his name?
Yeah, welcome back to Animated Opinion. We are hitting you with another episode. This one's just gonna be off the top. We got something. We're gonna try it a little more natural for you. Obviously, I'm one of your hosts, Styles Pride.
Yeah, you already know it's your boy Izzy in the building. Let's get it. So,
and see, he's quicker with it. He's clean with it. But yeah. So tax time, bro.
Tax time. Okay.
Hate tax time, bro. Hate tax time, bro.
Yeah, bruh. What's going on? I mean, obviously, you can't, put no.
I'm not.
Pertinent information out there, but
not gonna put too much financials out there or whatever. But it feels like I owe money, man. I owe money for taxes. I owe money last year. I owe money this year. Okay. You increase. It's what you were saying earlier. You increase the money that you make, get into a higher tax bracket, and all of a sudden the government has more to say when you're done at the end of the year. Mine isn't necessarily based off of my tax bracket, right? That just means that they're taking more out of my check. Mine's based off of my insurance, which is a pain in the ass because of the way that the company does insurance. But yeah, I just hate tax time, bro. I just hate tax time.
Yeah, I haven't.
I
haven't even filed my taxes yet. But it's like, I already know I owe money. So it's like, they'll get it when they get it, you know what I'm saying?
That's the funniest shit about this shit, right? I tried to do mine this morning. Right. Now, I tried to do them last week, but I realized that I owed money, so I had to wait for a paycheck, right? So that I could pay it all, get it done. So I paid it today, and then they revoked my shit. They denied my shit. And I'm like, how are you denying me paying you money? Like, just take your money. Like, so now I gotta go back.
That shit.
Bro, facts. 100% facts. They denied my shit. So now I gotta go in and find out. It's probably something with the move from last year. The addresses don't line up or whatever the case may be. You know, we got state tax up here too.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know a state. I mean, I know there probably are, but is there states that ain't got state tax?
Yeah, Florida, bro.
Really?
Florida has zero state tax. I never paid state taxes until I found myself in other states.
Every state that I've known, I mean, I know New York, it's like they don't tax certain things. Like, I know there's no like sales tax in New York and shit like that. I don't know. Like I said, I've only ever really filed taxes in North Carolina, so I guess I'm speaking from a point of ignorance. But yeah, I thought state tax was a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, facts. I mean, you only know what you know.
Right.
I always say that if I don't know about it, I'm not going to speak on it. And it's simply because of that. It's not speaking from a point of ignorance. It's, this is what I know. You can call it. I guess people can call it ignorance. But, whatever, bro. Like this is what we know. Like this is what we know.
Right. But yeah, no, I feel like I was just saying earlier. Like tax time was fun when you was broke. You know what I'm saying? But.
Facts. When you don't have no extra shit going on or whatever, it's like, oh yeah, I'm getting this refund, even if it was just like $1,200.
That was a lot of money for
right as a kid.
Like,
right. Yeah. You get. I got a G coming back. Oh shit.
Whole G, and then if you got a kid.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, we can't. Yeah.
You can't speak on that one.
After that first baby, bro, seeing that income tax return for the first time, I was like, woo! We need to have more of these.
More of these, yo. That's wild, yo.
That's really how it goes. Like everybody that I know when you're younger, that's the same, or at least from where I grew up. That's that hood mentality, I guess, you know? You see that money coming in and you're like, oh, this is because I got a kid? Oh, but we could do this again. One, I like the way that we, you know, I like practicing makes perfect to make the kid. So I want to do that all the time anyway, right?
Perfect.
And then if we get the kid, I can look forward to more money at the end of the year. Oh, shit.
Crazy.
You know, I mean, maybe it's not that hood mentality. Maybe it's just me because I'm addicted to money.
I've seen it. Like, I think I seen on Facebook one time, this chick was saying that she literally has kids just so she could get child support.
Oh, I seen that post. I seen that post.
She had like 8 kids already and was like, "Yep." Who? Now I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, when you have,
it's like tricking without tricking. It's like I figure you a hoe, but you can't help it.
no,
You know what I mean?
I don't even know.
She hoed, but she didn't hoe the correct way. She wasn't getting paid for each time she was fucking. What she was doing was shitting out kids so she could get paid for each time she was fucking. You like that's her income, bro. Like it's hoeing without hoeing. She's not getting paid for the process. She's getting paid afterwards. And that's how she's structuring her income. Hey.
Man, look.
That's not a healthy hustle, though. I do not recommend that for any ladies out there.
I understand as a man that sometimes, you know, times get to get hard, if you know what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
And if the only chick that's out there that's throwing it your way is chick with 7 kids, right?
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna try and follow you now, but that's an immediate no for me. Like.
She's the only one giving you play. She got 7 kids.
Yep.
I understand if you just like, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead, take that down, you know.
I mean, it's the only attention that you're getting. I'm seeing it from how you're presenting it. I'm seeing it. I can't relate, but I'm seeing it from how you're presenting it. It's the only attention that you're getting. I mean, yeah, you're gonna take what you could get.
Right. Like as a man, you like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and take this. What I don't understand,
yeah,
is how you introduce baby number 8. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mean, oops.
There are preventative measures in place, right?
Bro, I'm trying to give benefit of the doubt.
I feel like if you are number 8, you deserve it, bro. Like,
yeah, I mean, that, yeah. I don't, yeah. You basically signed yourself up. It's like time clocking. You clocked in.
That was all you, bro.
Yeah.
Like, you have nobody else to blame but yourself. I hate when niggas be around here like, oh, this bitch trapped me, da 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 da. She had 7 more already. You didn't.
You clocked in. you punched the card, bro. Yeah.
Because it's like, okay, let's say she got 7 kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
The first argument I hear coming with this is, well, maybe she poked a hole in the condom, right? Okay.
Okay, maybe.
But are you using her condoms or yours?
Right. That's where my mind went immediately when you said maybe she poked a hole in the condom. When did she get a hold of said condom?
Because it should be coming out from your pocket,
right?
Onto your, you know, your instrument, right?
All right. So let me bring it to you from a different perspective. You a broke boy, right?
Okay.
Just broke.
Been there.
On top of broke.
Yeah.
Like, okay, all right. You broke boy. On top of, that's the only person that's giving you an opportunity, right?
Okay.
So you don't have nothing to lose. You're not worried about that. You're not even thinking about that because, one, it's your only opportunity. You're not getting it often. So you're craving, you're hungry, you're thirsty, whatever, right? You're dying, you're starving. And 2, you don't have nothing, so you don't think about nothing. People that don't have any money don't worry about how they spend it or what they do with it 99% of the time. Like, as soon as they get it, they can't keep it. That's why they don't have any money to begin with. So they're not thinking from a financial perspective. No, they're thinking, oh shit, I'm about to get this pussy. And that's it. That's all they're thinking. So if that's all they're thinking, then I can see how you would get caught up. You know what I mean?
But that's all you're thinking. Saying. Like, if you that broke, what child support is she getting?
Oh no. The state will put you in front of whatever and base it off of your last income. And if you had no previous income, they'll base it at the minimum requirement according to what it should take to provide for the child over a year. And you'll just be forced to come up with a way to make that money. Yeah. I was in between jobs when me and the mother of my daughter split up. And they based that shit off of my last income. And it was, yeah.
Not a good time.
It wasn't exciting. No. I felt like I got, you know, them old cartoons where they get strapped to the train tracks and the train's coming. Yeah, I got railroaded, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah, I got railroaded for sure.
I mean,
but I will say that never once did I try and avoid that shit. I signed myself up for child support for my daughter.
Okay. Yeah,
and my son.
That's one of the things that I've seen break a lot of men in the Marine Corps, at least. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I don't really be around too many people with kids, especially like males with kids. Cause I mean, what we really got to talk about, like,
right?
Unless
that, and most dudes that aren't actively involved in their kids or whatever, they look at child support as like a punishment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And then the other thing too is I've had a lot of friends who are just with the mother of their kids. You know what I'm saying? So like the ones that I've really had experience with, who I've like seen go through this shit, is like, like obviously, I've heard your stories. There was a guy that I was stationed with who that man, I don't know how he was doing it, but I mean, this is according to him. I don't know. I didn't know his like, financials and stuff. But he was saying, because he got NJP'd, demoted, half paid, and still had to pay the same amount of child support, right?
Yeah.
And for like 6 months, tough. he was off of like, he said like $80-something.
And I was just about to say, and the worst part of that, the worst part of that, see, as a civilian, the state law follows the child, whatever. I think that's still accurate. I don't know. I think in the past couple of years that might have changed, but the law follows the child, meaning whatever state the child lives in, it's that state law in regards to what the requirements are for your child support or monetary obligations. But if you work for the government, active duty in the military especially, normally there's state laws that restrict the amount of money that can come out of your paycheck towards what you owe, so that you can still make a living for yourself. But as an active duty member of the military, the military is already providing all of your living. So those rules do not apply. Anything extra that you would want to pay out of pocket, you want to get internet in the dorm room, whatever, that's considered an extra. But your water, electric, and your housing is technically taken care of, because you are offered to move back on. Right.
Go to
offered to move back on barracks. And yes, you got chow hall. Meals are provided. So those regulations, those exceptions for civilians. Yeah,
he lost his house. He had to go back to the barracks. They
were like, we don't give a fuck. We're taking your whole check, bro. You will make these payments. You don't have an option. And they mandatory do that.
that man was broken. Let me tell you, like,
Yeah.
because he was living. Before that, he was E5. Living the good life.
Living off post housing. Yeah.
Yeah, he was getting his BAH everything.
Yep.
That adultery charge hit, bro.
We should put on a side note that maybe we should back off of this conversation, because all you thirsty hoes out there that are looking for military men, I don't want to give them the background. Like, ooh, really? They make them pay it? There's no question. I'm finding me one of those.
I mean, you saw.
I mean, it's already happening.
That's already.
I was gonna say it's already happening. You got bitches in Food Lion that look like they're dressed for the club, bending over all the way down, like they got a more than L-shaped, right? Yeah. Booty cheeks hanging out the back of their shorts to look at the milk, and they're doing that for a reason. All y'all boys in the military, bro. Listen. They tell you it's that uniform. It ain't that uniform, bro. It's that paycheck. Stop it.
I mean, but they know if they see that uniform, that paycheck is there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But
that's the symbol. Right? But it's not really the uniform. They'll tell you, "Oh, you look sexy in that uniform. That uniform looks good." Oh, no. That uniform equals money.
Yeah. No, like look. And what the craziest thing is, right?
Yeah.
I thought I was gonna be rich when I was in the military, right?
Okay. I mean,
not rich, but like, because I heard all the stories, you see like military men with these nice cars, like nice houses, right? I'm like, Make it up a few ranks. I'm gonna be good, man. When I seen that first paycheck from
you were like, "Where's it at?"
I said, "Huh?" I said, "This is all I get."
Oh yeah.
But I was like, okay, just get a couple more ranks, man. At no point in time in the military did I feel like I was making a lot of money, yo.
Now see, all right, I'm tracking, but I was vice versa.
Crazy.
As soon as I got in the military, I was like, yo, this paycheck is petty. Like for everything that I do, this is what I get paid. This is boo-boo, right?
Right.
This is garbage. But then after I had spent a little bit of time in active duty, first duty station, going through like what you would normally go through as a civilian, I realized I don't have any bills. So all this money is mine. Why do I have so much money saved up in my account? Oh, because I'm not paying any bills. Oh, so I really do kind of make money.
No, I mean, that,
for a single Joe,
yeah,
you really do kind of make money, because your paychecks aren't big boy, dick swinging paychecks to start. We're talking up to PFC specialists. They're not big boy paychecks to start. But once you realize all of that civilian shit that normally gobbles up your money and has you living paycheck to paycheck is no longer a factor. Yeah. I mean, it kind of does feel like you get paid, bro. Like,
no, and that's what I was. I get that, right? And
yeah,
I definitely know why I felt like I didn't make a lot of money. That's, I was not one of those people that saved money. That was never something that was. I told you, I was one of those broke people that when they got money, it was gone.
Didn't know what to do with it. Yeah. Oh, I was too, but I just had more money. And not necessarily broke. I just got used to a certain lifestyle pre-military. So I was used to money coming in a lot faster than what the military was giving me. So when I got money, I was like, oh, well, let's go out to the club.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden I ain't got money. You know what I mean? So I'm in the same boat, bro. There was a long time where I was used to a certain I didn't know what to do with my money. We'll just put it that way. I didn't know what to do with my
I'm just
money.
now learning, you know, and I still ain't perfect, right? Shit comes up.
Nope.
Things happen in life, bills, all kind of shit. Like,
Yep.
I mean, shit, I was just telling you earlier, I'm going to California next week, right, for this game developers convention. Conference, not convention, conference.
I'm excited for you for that.
Yeah, like, and
I'm hoping that shit's dope.
I mean, you know, it's supposed to be thousands upon thousands of people there, from all over the industry, all over the world. You know what I'm saying? I'm going as like a conference associate, so like I have like an all access pass, right? So
Nice.
and like that dope. Pass, I looked up the price. That shit was like $2,300, you know, to get an all access pass to this conference.
And you getting it?
Huh?
Hold on, I'm gonna try. I said, and you getting it just because?
Yeah.
Like,
well, not
for what you're doing for work or whatever.
Right. Like, and so, but the pass is his own thing, right? But the plane ticket and the housing, you know, where I'm gonna stay for this whole week, that was pretty much on me to figure out, right? Mm-hmm. And so the plane ticket alone was like, what, $600?
Holy shit! What the fuck? What do you find? First class on Delta or something?
Nigga, that's
Holy
basic economy.
Get out! What airline? What airline? That's what I'm saying. Like, would you pick Delta? Okay, all right. So one of the top airlines.
Crazy.
You had to pick the
United top. Really?
Yeah, bro.
No.
Hey, my cheap ass flies Frontier, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't care if they put me on a propeller plane and that shit is like it don't matter to me. I'll be shaking all up in that bitch, but I ain't paying more than $90 a flight, bro. I'm only on there for 2 hours. So why do I need to pay this top money?
Actually this flight is like 5.5 hours, so
oof.
It's
yeah. Well, I mean, East Coast to the West, yeah.
I'm definitely gonna be getting my drinks.
Yeah.
I don't know, actually. I don't know about that, cause they be
you gonna get them. You gonna get them. You gonna get them for $25.
Exactly, a little
like
bottle,
big.
bro. Like,
but you gonna get them.
I ain't gonna lie. I did get one. Oh no, I got two on the last plane trip I took up to New York. And this shit was so crazy, right? Cause the plane trip was so short.
Yeah.
That they started with the cart going down the aisle, starting to give people they stuff. I'm like, oh, do you want anything? Da, 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 right?
Yeah.
By the time they got to me, the pilot was sitting there. All right, every guy, you go ahead and put your seatbelts on. We're beginning to have to sit.
And they pulled that cart away from you,
I
didn't
was like, hold on,
now,
don't go yet. let me
yo,
get
yo.
a bottle.
Did you ever speaking of the military flights, kind of, did you ever take a Mac flight?
You talking about, nah. What?
All right.
Nah. That was I'm trying to remember the flight to
like, if you took, if you took, all right, so if you took leave and you wanted to travel anywhere, you could apply for the Mac flight, military, whatever.
I never did that.
Okay. I did that when I went to Japan for one of my leaves, and I did it when, obviously, I had to do it when I was changing duty stations from North Carolina to Korea.
Okay.
The only reason I bring it up is you on a big ass, I don't even know, it had to be like a C-130 or something like that. Like, it was massive, bro. I've never been on a plane that big. It had a row in the middle of the plane, right, for seating that had like, I don't know, 8 seats, and then 2 rows on either side that were like 4 seats on either side.
Nah, y'all ain't never been on a plane that big.
And then it had this back area behind the seating where we were all standing up and walking around and having drinks, and the drinks were free. That's what made me think about it. Okay. Mac flight, drinks were free, bro.
I do dream of one day getting on that first class seating. You know what I'm saying? Like, you look at it, the room is all spacious. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
they got their own little curtains and shit. Like
Yeah, you can recline the seat back, like
Right.
actual full recline back with the
Yeah.
leg rest and all that. They bring you blankets, warm blankets, pillows. Yeah.
Yeah, I did, but what, $2,000?
Flight attendant comes and flight attendant comes and massages my feet. They got a masseuse on there.
No, shit, that's a private.
They
jet.
gotta-
That's a private
Yeah,
jet. That
they
ain't
gotta-
no
they
first
gotta-
class.
They got a little Asian lady that just hangs out in this closet like an apartment. She
the
comes
fuck?
out to do pedicure. She comes out to do pedicures and manicures at request.
What kind of shit is that? You put her in
Yeah.
the closet is crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, have you ever seen these mini apartment videos on YouTube where they're like the tiniest apartments or whatever, and they walk through and they're like, "This is how people live in Tokyo, Japan, or in
I've
Japan or whatever."
seen certain videos like that, like the hotels where it's like cubicles.
Yeah.
Oh,
So putting her in the closet on the plane, you know, ain't a big deal. She turned that bitch into an
That's
apartment. She
crazy.
loves it there, right?
That's
and then you
wild.
just ask for your pedicure and your manicure. She comes out, oh, $20, I make you look so
Oh,
pretty.
no, this nigga did.
You got boyfriend? That's okay. You ain't got no boyfriend because your nails
Wild.
curl like talons.
Crazy.
$20, I make you look so pretty. You ain't seen that YouTube video, yo? That shit was funny as fuck. That had me dying laughing. Old boy was, I think it was a dad, and he was doing his daughter's nails. And I guess from so many times having the wife go to these parlors and get, you know, the pedicure, manicure shit, you hear the ladies talking. Whatever. I think it's funny.
No, I haven't seen that video, man.
Yeah, that shit is funny as fuck. It's a couple years old now, bro, but that's how funny it was. I laughed at it so hard it stuck in my head. That $20 make you look so pretty. Because he's white, bro. His kid's white. Like, he's fucking sitting there doing it, but he's doing it just like it, as if
Crazy.
the mom was at the parlor to make her feel, you know. Yeah. It was cute and funny at the same time, in my opinion.
That's wild. I mean, you know, I'll look into it. Oh, you can send it to me or whatever.
Like I said
Yeah,
years ago, bro.
If it,
I don't know. It's lost in space.
Nah, but the other thing I know we were just talking about is because you know we both been putting some time into last Epoch.
Yeah, we did make
And,
mention of that last time. Your initial feel with not really much time in the game, what you were looking forward to, what you were thinking about the game. So now that you got not the pinnacle of end game, but you've got an end game character.
Yeah.
You got an end game character. So now, what do you think, bro? What do you think? How you feel?
So, as you know, I'm already coming into these games with like a bias, right? I don't really like the top down view, right? It's not my favorite. I mean, I think even we was playing one time, and I had mentioned like this week, I was like, I just wish I could just go into third person and see my minion army at work, right? Like,
Right.
I think I
Be
remember
down on the
saying
ground.
that. Yeah, I think I remember saying that. Like, so that's always just gonna be something that puts me off when playing these types of games, right?
Right.
Because I can't tell you a memorable thing about any of the maps in this game, right? Now,
Okay.
mostly because I'm really not looking at it. More often than not,
Yeah.
I'm just
All right.
looking at my mini map or bringing up the holographic mini map or the transparent mini map to see where I need to go to the next objective, right?
Yeah.
Whereas in a third person game, right? Let's say I'm using the mini map to get a general idea of where my objective is, but for the most part, I'm traversing based off of what I see in the landscape, right? Like, let's take Elden Ring, for instance. You don't even got no mini map, right? So all you really got is an idea of where you need to go, and you go in that direction and use what you see is like, okay, that looks like an important spot. Is that a dungeon over? Like, you know what I'm saying? Whereas
and landmarks.
with the top
Landmarks.
down,
Like, I've been here before. I remember this statue.
right. Whereas with the top down on like the top down view, all I see is what's in my screen, right?
Yeah.
At any given moment, I can't see the rest of the world. So I have to basically remember what I'm seeing as it's going past my frames, right? So it starts on the left side, let's say, and I'm walking down a corridor. That corridor is out of my view within seconds, right?
Right. Yep.
I don't remember how I even got to that corridor, right? So it's like,
Other than
and then
the fact
you
that
can tell it's all modular, right? So once you get into the first part of the dungeon, you pretty much know what the rest of the dungeon is gonna look like, right? Like,
there's
there's not. So it takes me out of the immersion, right? When I'm just walking, looking at a mini map, right? I'm not in the game. I'm using basically an overlay on top of the game to play the game how it's supposed to be played. Then I take it down, I get to a couple pack of enemies, you know. That's where the fun starts, right? Because now I'm paying attention to the game, right? And I can see, oh wow, look at this boss getting melted. Look at my minions fucking out there doing their thing. Like, look at my whole army. This shit is fire. Like, and I'm just sitting there, remember we had that moment where we was on that one where they kept spawning in and we was on the bridge and you just out there. Oh yeah, I'm just over here enjoying the view.
Right. So using that as an example, I understand what you're talking about. Visually, it's not appealing to you, right? That's good. But what I would add to that is when we were on that bridge, you can look off in the distance. It's the overlay of the land that you see off in the distance. There's stuff that goes on in the background down off of those types of bridges or the overhangs off of a cliff or a mountainside or whatever you're walking on.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't mean to cut you off, but
no, that's good.
The only reason that will be a memorable time for or a memorable moment in the gameplay of like me actually remembering that map is because of how it happened. You get what I'm saying? Like, we had it was a funny interaction for one, right? Because you're just like, oh, fuck it, I don't need to do anything. I'm just gonna stare off in the distance. And I lined my character up perfectly to where he looked like he was just kind of looking over the side, and I'm like, that's a beautiful view. But that goes back to what we were talking about before. All the games that we played that have memorable moments. That was one. It was a minor, but it was a memorable moment. And it's like, had that never happened, I wouldn't have remembered anything about that map, right? I don't remember anything about any of the, like, remember, again, this is more towards the play style that I guess chose, right? So this is probably why this happened. So I'm not gonna so much blame it on the top down view. But remember when you asked me, so how did you do on that boss? Right?
Oh yeah.
I was just like, this boss, it's not
boss?
ringing a bell. Who was this again? He was like, I mean, you got past it because you here.
Right.
You don't remember the boss? The one that you fought with the tentacles? And I was like,
and the laser beam, and I was trying to do all the descriptive terms to get you to remember the shit, and then you were like, nope.
Oh,
and then you were like, oh yeah, I remember him. Yeah, that was over in an instant. That's why I didn't remember. I had to actually think about it, and I was like, damn, that's crazy, because I died on that boss like 5 or 6 times.
But that's what I wanted to like get at is like, you remember that boss because of the gameplay around it, right? It wasn't like we didn't have a moment, but you remember it because how hard it was, or like,
first time that I died, and I died back to back a couple of times.
Whereas he just became lost to me as soon as I left. I did not remember him at all. Like, I thought,
you ran through.
I had one thought about it where I was like, I wonder if he's like the Cthulhu, right? I wonder if he's supposed to be
Yeah,
Cthulhu,
yeah.
right? And
Right.
then that was
Basically.
it. I never thought about it again, right? So, but the boss that I remember that gave me problems was the Medusa chick, right?
Yeah.
The one
Which I ran through.
But
And
that's
all-
so like I actually remember to get to her, you had to like go across this little walkway, go down, and then get into the door to get into her little chamber and stuff. And then like, so I remember her stuff, right?
Right,
And,
right.
like her map layout. But that's
Right.
what when I say the rest of the map doesn't really resonate with me is because what is the goal of the game? You know, in its entirety, in retrospect, what is your goal when you are making your
It's all
build?
That's all it is. That's all. That's all. That's all those top-down ARPGs are.
Is running
character
through
build.
as fast, but it's as running through as fast as you can from pack to pack, killing like as many as you can to get drops, and then keep on going, right? Like that's
Right.
So
it's a power chase. That's it.
yeah, and so
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm saying. It's like I'll give you so because the goal is to run through as fast as possible, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not paying attention to the map. I'm paying attention to how fast, right, my minions are killing shit, right? So
Yeah.
I'm looking at the numbers. I'm looking at the speed it takes to kill a boss. So
Yep.
when it comes to, it's like in Elden Ring, this is the only example I can use, right? I know they're different games, but
Mm-hmm.
you are trying to get stronger, right? You're trying to get to a point where you running through enemies and flying through bosses like that. It's that same, concept. You getting your loot, right?
Yep.
But I remember the world of Elden Ring. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. That's because that's because of the structure of the game.
right.
Yeah,
And
and
that's-
the fact that it resonates with you on the art style. Like you like the immersion of the third person or over the shoulder camera. You're actually in the world. You feel like you're in the world. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I'm tracking.
So that's why I said like I come with a bias in that regards because a lot of the times my immersion is broken out of the game and I'm really only immersed at certain points. You get what I'm saying? So just from that, the game is always gonna lose points from me. Right? That's just my
Right.
bias. So some people like Worth a Buy hates third person games. So I know when I go watch a review from him, if it's a third person game, he already is gonna have that bias on it being a third person game, right? And that's
Right.
fine, because it's good to have the different perspectives on games that maybe like I love third person games. Like for instance, I loved Elden Ring and you was like I couldn't be bothered, right?
Yeah.
Like
But that's not to say that I don't like third person or first person games because I put a fuck ton of time in Skyrim. I put a fuck ton of time in Oblivion. I put a fuck ton of time in Fallout.
well, Elden Ring wasn't first person.
No, it was third.
Yeah.
You're right. Yeah, but I do like right. I do like third person games though. I do I put a fuck ton of time in.
No,
Gears
I
of
know.
War.
No. I'm just saying like everybody
That's a
has
shooter versus-
preferences when it comes to gameplay and stuff, right? So
Elden Ring. I played Elden Ring first person. Could you not? I'm pretty sure you could change the camera. No, maybe I didn't. Because I was on the... Yeah, never mind. Okay, so if I take a game that's like Elden Ring and compare it, and that's something that I actually put time into, it's Bloodborne.
okay.
It's a Souls-like, heavier on dodge than blocking, more fast-paced than Dark Souls, but it's basically the same thing. And I put a fuck ton of time into Bloodborne.
No, and I will say I have put quite a bit of time into Last Epoch, even though I get taken out of the immersion. Yep. And that's because I was really, again, the minions. Like, this is, and I was, while I was playing, I do kind of pay attention to the chat sometimes, right? Because I can sit there because my niggas is just gonna do their thing, right? So I'm just reading chat. I actually got killed a couple times being a little too cocky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Putting your minutes to work and being like, well, let's just see what chat's doing.
Right. I get mad cocky. I go over to the next screen. Let me look at something over here. I pull up my inventory. Let me see what I got. And then next thing I know, I get one tapped. Like, oh, okay. But
this man said he's going through his inventory.
In the middle of a pack.
In the middle of the pack.
I said, well, I see the item. I'm like, oh, let me compare it with what I got on. Like, while these motherfuckers are fighting. Yeah. So, but like that shit, I enjoyed it. Right. I enjoyed it. So I was like, I told you, I think I told you, I was like, I want to see how far it can go. Yeah. Before, it stops working. On top of, too, I told you I made that Rune Master, and I'm interested just because of how the skill tree, right? The skill tree is dope. Like, you can really change the properties of like, you see, I made all my minions fire something. You know what I'm saying? And they're just going through literally melting shit. Like, I think one time you was like, I seen them big chunks of damage. I don't know what
yeah, that was that I remember what boss it is, but I don't remember the area that it was. And I was like, yeah, I'm just gonna stand on the side and let's see what you're really doing, because you were excited. You were like, yeah, these minions are out here doing work, bro. And I was like, all right, I'm not gonna. I was a little bit ahead of you in levels at the time, and I think I had just gotten into in-game, so I was starting to get online with in-game gear, exalteds and stuff like that. Anyway, I didn't attack the boss was the goal. We'll see what the damage was for your minions. And whatever it was that you were doing, like, I saw the regular standard damage, and the boss itself was ticking down at a fast pace. But then you were casting something, and it was like chunk, 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 chunk. And I was like, yo, whatever that is, you got it. And it turned out it was those zombies, right? Yeah, the volatile zombies. Zombies. Yeah, they were exploding and shit, and every time they were exploding, chunk, chunk, chunk. And so, what? Three categories, right? You got the art style already, right? Yeah. And explained your bias about the game.
Well, that's more of just the view. Like, don't get me wrong, the game, I still think the game looks good. It's just I couldn't enjoy it. You get what I'm
it breaks
saying?
Your
like,
it's
I don't get a chance to really see what you have created because I'm not paying attention to it. I'm paying attention to how fast I could get through this campaign or get through this dungeon, or like, I'm just trying to get this bar up so that I can get on to the next one. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, which is also another reason why I think that you are not a big fan of ARPGs, because that is what the game is based off of. You're right about that, but you are looking more for progress, and don't stop and take the time out to like watch the animations and shit. And that's, I think, another reason why after you play the game for so long, you start to fall off. You're like, all right, I'm gonna play something else because I can't. You just physically can't stay interactive with the game for that long because of lack of immersion for you, so on and so forth. Whereas me, what draws me to an ARPG and keeps me playing the ARPG is the animations for the combat, right? Like, it's all the same structure. I'm trying to get through this map, through this map, so that I can get the next level, next piece of gear. That's the core gameplay. But if the animations are good, that's what keeps me entertained. Diablo 3 did a really good job with animations. Last Epoch, so far from what I've played, their animations aren't bad. It's enough to keep me entertained. So when I get into the map, yeah, I'm looking at where my next objective is, but I'm not necessarily rushing through it. As I get into the map, when you first start the game, for me, I'm taking a look at the surroundings, taking a look at what the map looks like, the aesthetic of it, you know, Grim Reaper, Graveyard. I see the big tomb pillars. I'm talking about one of the maps that I was just recently on today. And I'm enjoying that. But later in the game, you're not really paying attention to that because you've seen it so many times that you're not looking at it anymore. So now what am I looking at that's keeping me entertained while I run through? Well, it's the animations for whatever new build I'm running. That I know where the objective is, but I'm running pack to pack because I want to see this combat. I want to see these big ass numbers. I want to see the animations. I want to see how the build operates and shit like that. Your play style currently for the minion build, you're missing out on some of that, which you may not even be missing out on it because again, it's your play style, but you're not getting all of that. You can watch, the most that you're getting is, because there is no rotation, you put a bunch of minions out and they just decimate everything. So but if you are enjoying, like I was even paying attention, I made mention when we were playing together, I told you, I said I forget what it was, but I was like, yo, me and your golem are just down here, just the two of us. I was in bear form, perma bear form, and I was like, me and your golem are just down here decimating everything that comes at us in this wave, bro. And I was watching his animations. I was actually enjoying your minions animations. I even made mention before that where I was saying like, yo, I see you changed the golem to a fire golem. He looks dope, for one. And then when I would see him like come over and do that flex thing where he blows the flames out of all 360 degree, I was like, yo, that's dope. Like those little animations are what keep you interacting.
No, and like I said, don't get me wrong. I actually enjoy. That's what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying. Like I enjoy actually watching my minions just go to town, decimating, just destroying niggas. I'm just like, yeah. Like it gives me that feel of when you watching Slime, right?
Oh yeah.
And you like, oh shit, we already know, Rimuru can go out there and do his thing, but Gobuto is out here going ham.
Right. Gobuto, that
like, and then you already know, oh man, Hakudo, did you say you wasn't ever gonna forget his name? Didn't you say you wasn't going to ever forget his name? What's his name?
I lied. Hashiro?
Crazy. But
Hakiro?
you know when you see the old man, it's gonna get crazy. You know when you see motherfucking what's Ninja Dude's name? You know it's about to be nasty.
Sean.
It's been so long.
No, it's not Sean. That's the chick with the big boobs.
That's Shion, yeah. I mean, you know, when you see her, she gonna be nasty too. You know, she did get her shine. Like I said, it's like what, like it's cool when the main character does shit, but he's the main character, right? But watching the subordinates go ham. Like you get these people who just think they the shit, right? Like, yeah. Whoa, this is your lord? This is your king? Who you think you talking to like that? He's not even needed. And then this subordinate comes and just whoops that ass and it makes that nigga a subordinate. Like,
yo, yes. Because now it's power scaling, not just for the main character, which you expect, but there's power scaling for the whole team. That's one of the things that I love about Slime and makes it my top anime.
Oh, you had to think about it.
Yeah, Solo Leveling popped in my head, bro.
Speaking of Solo Leveling, what did you think about that episode 8 that they hit us with, man? My reaction is gonna be posted today. I'm gonna do 2 episodes today, so if y'all interested, go ahead, look that up. But what did you think of that episode 8, man?
Before we get into that, bro, give me a rating. Okay. Give me some kind of something, right? Because we we got off on.
Oh yeah.
Like
we
the
still
map,
on
the
last
aesthetic,
Epoch. Yeah.
right.
Yeah, my bad.
I just
my
want to
bad.
know how you feeling. How
So,
are you feeling?
I
And compared to
forgot.
all other games that have given you an opportunity to play the Necromancer, does Last Epoch give you what you actually want out of a Necromancer?
So,
does it allow you to play it how
absolutely,
you think it should be played?
I feel like this has been the best Necromancer. Like just thinking about like the top down John, because even in third, they don't really make a lot of third person games where you can have like an army, right? So
right.
yeah, I would say this is probably the best Necromancer. If you want to play a Necromancer, that's what I was saying too. Like I was reading the chat one time and somebody was like in the chat, man, it feels so good to actually play a Necromancer that feels like a Necromancer. And I was like, yeah,
Thanks.
I feel that because every other game they destroy that shit, right? For what? I have no clue. So the gameplay of the class, 100% fire. I got no complaints, right?
Okay.
Where my other complaint lies is with this in-game system that they have. You know, and we was kind of touching on it earlier, but I said let's just save it. And it's the whole like the Merchants Guild and the COF thing, the Circle of Fortune. Like,
wait. One more question. One more question.
Okay.
About that I would like you to touch on. I want your opinion.
Okay.
All right. So class plays exactly. Maybe not exactly. Maybe there's room for improvement. But compared
honestly,
to any other game,
the only thing I would ask for improvement is giving them a bit more freedom. So like
movement,
like not movement, but like they can go out further, but like, or I can move further away without them immediately running to me. Because the one problem I found is a lot of the times they like I would leave them there so they could finish them people off, right? But they won't, and they'll just run back toward me, and then now you got a whole pack of enemies that I gotta now stop for so they can go ahead and finish killing these niggas, right? So give me a little, because like I might see like an item that of like somebody that they killed back here, right? And I might want to go look at it. Let them keep going a little further ahead. Like, go ahead, keep clearing them packs out. You know what I'm saying?
let them wipe the map for me. That's what they're supposed to do, right? All right.
Right. I should just come on the map and they should just start going to town while I just
but as
sit
far
there.
as and I get it. I get it. But as far as the fantasy of actually playing a Necromancer with minions, the way that you want and have wanted in the past, Last Epoch does it for you.
Yeah.
All right. So then the next question is, you made a build without looking at a build guide, right? Now, most games penalize you for doing that. If you don't have any experience making builds, which you have limited amount.
Well,
right?
I do have experience with making builds, though.
Right.
Like, we play a whole lot.
How strong would you rate it?
I mean, we play a whole lot of build making games. I mean,
okay.
I mean, because you got to think too, like an ARPG is still an RPG, right?
Yep.
The mechanisms of an RPG are still there, and I play a lot of RPGs. You know, I mean, all
right. Well, then I'll put it. I get you, and you're right. You do have a lot of build making experience. I mean, Warframe needed builds. I mean,
we play a lot of build making games.
But,
so I would say what made it easier, and probably I will probably might have to look up a build guide for like the Rune Master. What made the build really easy to make is I just really had to go for minion damage and minion health on all my items, right? Like, and the higher I could get it to roll, or the higher the stat was, the stronger my minions became, right? And you know, the real build, I guess I would say, where I probably could optimize it more, or there's probably different ones out there, is with the actual skills, right? So, you know, how I went down the tree might not necessarily be how somebody else went down their tree for a full minion build, right? So
Which I like.
Yeah, but that was
the
just me
variation.
looking at all of the skills in the tree, right, and saying, okay, this
is what I want.
Sound more interesting to me, right? Like,
right.
What?
Well, what I'm getting at, that's perfect, because what I'm getting at is most other games don't allow you to do that.
Yeah.
Right. And we both have build making skill. I personally would not put my builds, my personal made, created builds, on par with anything that you find on any website, stuff that people are putting on YouTube videos that are actually thought out. They crunch the numbers, like all of that.
Right.
I'm not doing maximum amounts of DPS and survivability, right? I got to make adjustments. That's what I'm getting at by saying, like, our build making skills aren't top notch.
Yeah, no,
that's what I'm getting
absolutely
at.
Not.
So the fact that, how do you feel your build is progressing through in game without you having to look up a build guide? Are you feeling like you're struggling at all?
I mean, no, like I said, I'm level 75 and I'm running through 85 content, and I haven't gotten an actual gear upgrade. What was the last piece of gear? I think the last thing I got was a ring. And was it? I can't remember the last piece of gear I got, but I know it's been a while since. Like, I haven't actually gotten a real upgrade since starting, like, running through the the monoliths, right? So
the last piece
then
is
to do anything to my build yet. Right, so that's why I was saying I want to get further and just see how far I can go, what other upgrades I can get, because I'm definitely not in full exalted gear, right? So I know that my numbers can go up even higher, right? So with just the build that I've been working on, I haven't found a ceiling yet.
Okay, and the reason that I'm asking that is because most other games don't allow that either, for new players to come in and just craft something the way that they want to craft it, and the game allows you to continue through content without forcing you to be like, oh, I can't get through this. Well, now I'm going to make a new character, or I got to go look up a build because I like playing the character that I play. Yeah, you can't do that in Path of Exile.
Oh, yeah, I've heard about that. Once you start playing Path of Exiles, if you don't know what you doing, you might as well either make a new character when you're ready to know what you're doing, or wait to the next season, because everything gonna be different anyway, right? Like, so. Same
thing with Diablo 4. You can't, even though their game is considered easy by anybody that you see on YouTube, the reality is that if you go in and you just try and make a nonchalant build, not using one of the builds that's preset or laid out, you're not going to get anywhere in the game and in game. You're going to get doo-dooed on. And then same thing with D3. D3, you could get up to your torments without any kind of a build, a preset build or something like that. And this is before the set build bonus stuff. But even with that, if you're running a set build but you're not running it correctly with the correct skills and stuff like that to amplify what you're doing, you're not gonna find peak performance, and you won't get deep into the end game. You might be able to get to tier 13, maybe. Or Torment 13, maybe, but as far as clearing heavier shit. So I'm not going to get into all that. Anyway, the reason I'm asking, I'm using your opinions, right, as somebody that's not a huge fan of ARPGs, to kind of see, like, this is what Last Epoch offers, right? So those were the one, you're getting the play style that you want to play from the character that you want to play, and it's playing the way that you want it to play, which you couldn't find in other ARPGs. And two, you're doing your own build. You're not forced into looking up somebody else's shit. Like, yes, I want to play a minion build, but my shit isn't working this way, so I need to look something up so that I can continue to play this build. You haven't had to do that. You just pick what you want to pick. Play how you want to play, bro.
I mean,
like,
and that's good. That's really, I get what you're saying too, because I tried to do that with Diablo 4, right? Would just make a minion build, right? Because that's really what we kind of do. Like, you know, we go in and just see what we can do, right? And then,
yes, sir,
if we get to that point where we can't go any further, I guess my shit ain't working no more. Let's look up a build, right?
I don't know what the answer is, right? And you know, I just want to see how far my build creating skills,
Yeah.
how far they progress.
Exactly.
What have I learned over my years of playing these games? Like,
And that's what really, I will say, really makes the game fun, right? Is that's where the fun is how far can I push my abilities before I'm just like, okay, let me go look up somebody else shit and see where I'm going wrong. And then you come to find out that these people online done had spreadsheets and you know,
Facts.
Google Docs and just all
Yeah.
graphs and pie charts about why all the skills that you chose are ass because their multipliers aren't as good.
This is how you get maximum DPS per click.
Exactly. And it's like you
Oh,
want to
shit.
use these skills right here. And it's skills that you was like, I don't want to fucking use those skills though.
Right. I don't even like those animations.
Yeah, but they have the best animations frame timing, and if
Yeah.
you do it like this, you'll get millions of damage. Look at these
Right.
numbers, and you're like,
Right. Okay, I want those numbers. So I'll do what you say. And then come to realize 90% of the time that, well, maybe not 90, maybe 30. Maybe it is a low percentage, but most of the builds people aren't even playing the way that like playing them correctly. Absolutely, like that maximum DPS that they're designed for. Me. I put the build together. I'm seeing big ass numbers, but I'm not maximizing my fucking DPS because I'm not keeping to a strict rotation. I'm not popping the skills off cooldown exactly to when they're supposed to be. I just want to play.
yeah, exactly.
But I want to play and I want to see big numbers. So
When what I've found is a good solution for that is actually taking their build idea
yeah.
and like, okay, I see where you're going with this, but now I see where I went wrong, but I see where I can improve on what you got and make it more for me. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And so I that's what I feel like the last Epoch
Even if
tree
it-
offers too. Like even if you were to go look up a build just to get a baseline of where you might want to go,
Yeah.
you can be going that way and then be like, oh, wait, but I just got this weapon that got this on it, and right over here I could do this, and that shit sounds cool. So
Facts.
let me go ahead. Whereas, you know, in Diablo 4, I'm just gonna say 4,
Yeah.
you got really one fucking path on that skill tree that you going down, and
It wasn't much. It was different in 3, but it wasn't much different in 3. Like if you tried to take some of these set bonuses or these set builds and put your build together, and you just changed one rune on one of your fucking skills or whatever, and it didn't give you whatever the rune bonus was that's on the current build, you possibly could be multiple brackets underneath anyone else that's running it correctly on the leaderboards, for one, and for two, it may just not operate the correct way.
It's like I said, from a scale of 1 to 10, you know, I like I said, I did want to touch on that whole merchant guild thing again, because that's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah, we can go back to that. I just wanted those couple of questions.
Like I think you actually, I think they just need to redo the merchant guild system, just entirely. I think they went into the game with, because from my understanding, the merchant guild is new, right? It's something they just put in for the release.
Right. I believe both of them are, aren't they?
Merchant
Guild and COF were something added for release.
I have no. I'm just going off of what I see in the chat, right? Like I'll be reading the chat. Like I said, people be talking about different shit, and one of the things I seen that was talking about was like people were saying like, yeah, the merchant, like how they wanted to leave merchant guild and how like just different shit on the merchant guild. And after interacting with it myself, I think what they tried to do was limit or just like erase how much you can use the market for your own gain, like your own, like, you know, like having something and being like, hey, I'll, you know, cash at me $20 and you can get the, you know what I'm saying? Like, look at these God rolls right here. Like, because one of the things that they did too is, and this is I'm like, it doesn't really feel like a real market, right? Because the other thing that I wanted to touch on that you mentioned was that's literally all gold is used for.
Facts. There's nothing else really that you need it for other than buying the Shatter Ruins. And my thought process is once you get to end game, right? Like you're fighting the corruption, multiple levels of corruption, you're actually full build. You're not breaking shit down anymore. You don't need to, because the only thing that you need to do is run around and do the monoliths that have like the affix drops are the reward. And you're not really looking for anything. You're full built.
Right.
So all that you get is just collecting and collecting and collecting towards your next character. You won't have to buy those Shadow Runes anymore. So what are you going to spend your gold on?
And that's why that's where my first why'd you release the system like this, right? Is okay. So they wanted to split the guilds up, right? This side is for the solo players who just want to get, they get
higher
tons of drops and just loots upon loot, right? And this side is for the people who want to be more targeted toward what they going for, right? They don't want to spend hours and hours, right?
They want to buy it.
They just want it, right? They want to spend their gold and buy it. Okay, cool.
Min-max.
I get it, right? What I don't understand is, for one, why did you separate them so heavily to the point where it feels like you're penalized for choosing one or the other, right? Like I was telling you earlier, if you first off pick COF, right? You can target farm, but you can't really target farm at, higher tier end game levels, right? Like you can go for pants, right? And set your loot filter up to only look for specific things, right? But once you start looking for those specific roles to get to that min-max point, right? It's
easier to use the market.
Exactly. It's like, let's say like the example I used earlier. Let's say you got everything and all you need is some gloves, some boots, and an amulet, right? You can't then go to the Merchants Guild and spend your gold there. So you in COF with millions of gold for what reason?
Yeah, facts.
Why do you why if I'm in COF, why do I need gold at this point? Like then you okay, my bad, I didn't mean to cut you off, but then you
no, go ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna switch over to the Merchants Guild so I can spend all this gold I got, right? Until you find out that if you're in the Merchants Guild, you can't use none of the shit that you got in COF if you leave COF to join the Merchants Guild, and vice versa. So if you in the Merchants Guild and you buying stuff off the auction house, if you I'm not finding what I need on the auction house for my build, right? Maybe it's a specific role, or it comes from a specific dungeon or whatever that you're looking for, right? And there's none on the market. You can't say switch over to COF and just farm for that specific gear, because you have to take off all your merchant gear shit. So
it's the same penalty?
It's the exact same penalty.
One, that penalty is ridiculous, because if seriously, everything that drops, or however, this could be another one of those ignorant assumptions or whatever, but you're actively farming shit in COF. Everything that drops is considered COF gear.
If you join COF Guild, from that point on, you're getting COF benefits. Therefore, everything that drops is COF gear.
And even if it's not, I'm not saying that you're wrong. I don't know. But even if it's not, and it's only prophecies or shit that you get from extra drop chance, which is actually core passives in the guild, so that's why everything that drops is COF gear. But let's say it's just prophecy drops. I'm running those prophecies specifically, right? That's what the guild offers. That's their big thing. You get the prophecies, the extra drops. You can get like 6 legendary rings, so you have a chance of finding the one that you want.
Which don't
off
cost
of killing
gold,
an elite
but
mob.
cost favor.
Right.
So you have no reason to spend gold.
Right. So now that I'm looking for something to min-max, all right. I'm not even going to break all that shit down because it's just a lot and it's dumb. But having to remove my gear because I'm changing factions, when the only reason that I would change faction is to use the faction system on this side to find something that I'm specifically looking for that I haven't got to drop on this side, sounds dumb. What they should do is incorporate both. COF is a faction that you join, and the Merchant Guild is not a guild, it's just the merchants, and it's something that you have available.
Yeah.
That's what they should do. Player trading. They shouldn't have this resource that you have to build up by playing with a specific player, because that shit don't drop, bro. I've seen multiple posts where people are like that one guy that I read to you. Him and his son had played through the entire campaign and were up to where they were doing 100 level corruption. And they only had 3 things drop that entire playtime. I'm not even at 100 level corruption. You're not at 100 level corruption. And they've had 3 things to trade. You got one?
Yeah, we remember.
I didn't even get one.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I actually dropped while we was playing, and I was like, "Did you get one?" And you was like, "Nah."
Yeah. Either way, if that's how that's a dumb trading system. That's whack. That's whack. It's either you have trading in the game or you don't, but don't restrict it on something that drops so minimal that you really don't have a trading system.
But that's what also doesn't make sense again, right?
And make the market open to everybody so that they can trade.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what doesn't make sense, right? Is, okay, it costs favor to get your prophecies, right? That's it.
Yeah.
No gold, nothing.
Right, and the favor is what you build up just by killing enemies and completing.
Right? In Merchant's Guild, you build favor by killing enemies, right?
Right.
But
what do you do with the favor in Merchant's Guild?
See, this is where it gets retarded, right? So it costs favor to list items depending on that type of item, right? So it could cost 100 favor or cost 1,000 favor to list it. Just depends on the item, right? Cool. But why then does it cost gold and favor to buy the items? So it costs me favor to sell and it costs me favor to buy. Yet I'm the only one. We're the only ones that's using this gold. So I don't understand why there's this double charge of favor, is what I'm trying to get at. Like,
well, that favor has to be incorporated to something because it's part of the leveling process.
But that's what I'm saying, right? It's like, so to get levels in the Merchant's Guild, you have to list items.
Okay.
So you have to spend favor to list items that did get you favor, that you then have to spend again to buy items that cost gold that only you are spending in the guild. I don't understand the gold economy, because the only ones that are dealing with gold are people in the Merchants Guild. So why are we dealing with gold at all? Why not just deal in favor? What is the point of gold?
I mean, there are other things that you use gold for, but there's just not enough to make it.
I'm level 75 and I don't think I've spent gold anywhere at all.
That's also because of the build that you're playing.
Oh, no. I have spent gold. Sorry.
Yeah.
I spent gold on stash tabs.
Okay. That's one. That's one. For my druid build early, I had to use gold with the gambling tab to refresh his inventory. I had to, because in order for me to rush through the campaign content, I had to make sure the weapon is the most important piece while leveling. You have to have the damage to actually get through shit, because the more that you're standing around hacking at the same enemy, the more opportunity there is for you to die. So that's one of those things where best defense is a good offense kind of thing. Not saying that I don't need resistances, stuff like that. I'm just saying whatever. For leveling, weapon is the most important part. When you're trying to jump through content, the gambling system is the best way for you to get a chance at a higher tier item that your level for your character meets, but the current content in the story that you're at doesn't. So you get that item, and then you can do these dungeons at an easier pace. So that's one way to spend gold, and I'm sure that a lot of people are using that for gear that they want to get jumps in that they're not actively able to do currently or whatever. Another way is the shatter runes that I was talking about that you use to actually shatter your items to get the affixes. Now, those will become, like I said, useless when you've got a min-max to what you consider min-max. When you have a completed character and you're running in-game content consistently, you're no longer going to be looking for affixes that you need right away, so you're not going to be breaking down items as much. Again,
your mic cut out.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. I don't know what the hell that was, man. But they're gonna alleviate themselves. The shatter ruins aren't gonna be important anymore. But currently, I find myself buying a lot of those, and at 2,000 a pop, it does take up a lot of gold.
I haven't actually got to a point where I even need to. Like, I know what you're talking about. I know the shatter runes you're talking about. You never purchased a single one.
Well, you haven't been needing them.
Yeah, I think I might have bought one thing from the merchant one time, and it was a wand that was better than what I had, or a scepter.
Yep.
And that lasted for a few levels, and then I got the legendary one that I've been using since I got it, because
that's it. When you were trying to remember when your last upgrade was, I was gonna say, well, it had to be that one, that legend, that unique that you got when you were running with me.
Well, I do remember getting that, but I definitely got some more, because I got an exalted. I think the exalted was the last thing, because I'm trying to remember. It was something. What I got last, I actually put in the forge and increased my like the tier level of I think it was minion health. So one of my items that had, I think and it's the one that I told you earlier, that had like 190% minion health. I can't remember what piece it was, but that was the last piece that I actually put on, and I remember that because I put that bitch in the forge, and I was like, I'm gonna max this bitch out, right?
Yeah.
But other than that,
I do like the crafting in Epoch too.
Yeah, I love how you can literally pull up the forge at any point
anywhere
time and just go for upgrades. One of the things I hated about BDO was upgrade day, bro.
Oh, Jesus.
Like,
that shit is painful.
Upgrade day was just like, sometimes you didn't even get better stats because you just didn't want to deal with upgrade day. Like,
when I was full tedded out, I would not pen an item without cronstones, bro. And that upgrade day became like upgrade month,
right?
Or upgrade quarter. Like, I would do it one day every 3 months, or because I had took that long for me to get the crons to feel comfortable and safe in trying to smack pen.
Yeah, BDO is one of the few games where I had multiple characters, because you needed multiple characters on BDO to be successful.
Yeah.
And it literally epitomized why I hate games where I have to have multiple characters on that game to be successful. Yep. Because it was just so, like, it's too much, right? Again, it's one of those things where it takes you out of the immersion in a way.
Lost Ark, right? Man.
Yeah. I mean,
I love that game though.
I know.
I love that game. Yeah.
I can't find it I can't find it, right? Like in last Epoch, I'm still have a reason to keep going, right?
Yep.
In Lost Ark, I just can't find
My reason. Your reason.
Yeah, I can't. It's just not there for me. So, but yeah. Anyway, last Epoch overall, especially with that, they need to fix that system though. That whole end game faction shit.
Yep.
Fix that. Okay.
I agree.
Give us a real and one of the things I said would be cool is you got to be a certain level to sell, but don't put a level restriction on the shit to buy, right? Like, niggas.
What if I want to make a new character?
Motherfuckers is gonna have gold on top of gold on top of gold, right?
Yeah.
It's like,
what if I wanted to make a new character, and I've got the 2 legendary pieces that I need for the build to operate immediately, but I don't have any of the other core gear, and instead of me putting on a loot filter that's going to actually have me looking at shit while through the leveling process, just let me go on the market.
Yeah.
Let me go on the market, buy a couple of pieces that I know that are going to last me up to this level. And then when I get to that level, I'll go on the market and buy a couple more pieces, and it'll make the leveling process so much faster, bro.
And like I said, and it's like they trying to. It was like their way of gatekeeping trading away from outside sources, right? So like the people who go on websites and is like, hey, we selling scepters, you know, be fucking the main scepter that you might need for a build, right?
Mm-hmm.
They got a stock of fucking 30 of them, right? Hey, $20 a scepter. You know, place your order here. I get it. They don't want that, right? They want people in the game to, you know, that's how the economy works, right?
Right.
But the problem with that is once you bring in-game trading, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just...
And not everybody's going to want to buy off of those sites.
Exactly.
I'm not going to want to give old boy $20 in real money when I can go and buy it off of the market. Okay, maybe that item is ridiculously priced, like 10 million silver or gold or whatever, right? I about said silver. We were talking about BDO. It's like 10 million gold or whatever. Right. That's going to take fucking forever to farm up. But I'm not going to pay this dude $20 in cash to get it for 1,000 gold. So when I get 10 million gold, I'll have that item. Or just like in Path of Exile, I'll never have that item. Yeah. And I'll move on from that build. Yeah. Or I'll do what I can do with that build through the crafting system. Which I like Last Epoch's crafting system, not only because you can forge anywhere, but also because it doesn't take a PhD to operate.
Yeah, like, it's anyway. Yeah. I would say overall from my time in Last Epoch.
Okay. Overall rating 1 to 10. 1 to 10. Give me a score, bro.
For me, I would give it a 6 out of 10.
Pooh, that was not what I was expecting. Okay.
I would say it's just above average game for me. Like,
damn, that's.
I mean, this is just.
Damn.
I can't give it anything higher just because of all the other things that I said. Like, class aside, there's not really much else I like about the game. I mean,
that's painful. I get it, but it's just there's a lot that I like. I actually like Last Epoch a lot, a lot.
I mean, yeah, it's again. I tell people every time, and I warn people every time. I come into these types of games with biases, so
yeah, no worries.
What gets a game? What makes a game good for me is how immersed I am. How what the gameplay itself, right? And that system there. Just it's not my favorite.
It's aggravating.
I do like going through the monoliths, right? That's cool. It's real simple. You go in, but those are even starting to become pretty samey, right? Like,
yeah.
Like
we haven't gotten to the corruption shit yet,
right?
But.
Yeah, and when we do, that could change. But even watching some gameplay of like higher level, because I think I told you I seen like a Rune Master video, and he was talking about running corruption 500 or something like that.
Yeah. Somebody said the Falconeer was running corruption 2000 without question, and I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, but I mean the objectives are still the same though. Like slay enemies to find the captain, or destroy the moon spire or the void spire, right?
Yeah.
And
I agree. I agree with all that because
so
there's a lot of other people.
It's like I could tell that eventually I'm just not gonna want to do that, right? Like I know that there's other end games too, so like I do want to. Apparently there's like I said that arena thing.
Yeah, okay. I'm not a big fan of PvP and ARPGs, bro. I haven't. Lost Ark did a good job to some extent, but Lost Ark's also pay to win, so that takes the fun out of it.
I mean, I don't know much. I don't know anything about it, to be honest. I've never looked at it at all, but I remember watching the video that you sent with the Diablo, and the dude said there was 3 in-game activities.
Yeah,
doing the monoliths. I know about the arena. I can't remember what the third one is though. 2
of them are incorporated in each other because the monolith and whatever faction you're in, that's an in-game activity. That faction, the grind through the faction, and using like the prophecy system or whatever. But yeah, it's really only the arena and monoliths.
Okay, so yeah, then.
And that's actually a major complaint from a lot of the mainstream YouTubers for ARPGs, people that any ARPG player knows. They're saying the same thing. Like Path of Exile did it perfect with their Uber bosses and the actual, like you get through the main campaign and then the end game has its own campaign that involves all the mapping system and how you unlock shit and get to these Uber bosses. Yeah, and it actually it's dope. Path of Exile is a fucking amazing game. It's just I don't want to have a PhD to fucking do the crafting and complete my builds. I want something a little bit simpler, but not Diablo 4.
Yeah. I get it. I think Last Epoch definitely strikes a good balance between giving you options.
Yep.
While not over what, like when I say I looked at that, I took a look, like I said with the Last Epoch, I went through the skills. I was like, oh, okay, but I did that slowly, right?
Yeah.
Like as I got the new skill, I was like, oh, okay, I could put a new minion in my army. Let's see how what he can do or what they can do. Okay,
right.
I have how many of them? Like, okay, oh, this is where. So at first I would find where is it where I can add more. Right?
Yeah.
Those were always the first nodes I went to.
Yeah.
I could have 3 skeletons off of this. Okay. Oh, the passive tree, nice, simple format, right? Like, look, if I go down this tree, I'm going to eventually get 3 more skeletons. Let me go ahead and go down this tree, right? Like, so, but if I wanted to go other places, I could, right?
Yeah.
And
but then you cracked open.
I looked at that Path of Exile tree.
Yeah. I knew that was what you were getting at. I knew that was coming, bro. Yeah.
And you telling me if I make one wrong mistake, it's over?
Yeah, bro.
All the time that I'm about to put into this is just.
I mean, not one wrong mistake. It is and it isn't.
I mean, but one mistake starts compiling to more mistakes, and then now you going down a whole tree that you could be wasting hours on hours of skill points that could be in a whole nother tree that could make your build so much more ready for this in-game content when you get there, right? Like, it's just that is one thing that I will say did start deterring me every time I try Path of Exiles. Is that's one game where I actually went and looked up like how am I supposed to go through this fucking maze of nodes and skills and shit so that I don't fucking go down the wrong tree, right? And
well, I've told you before, Path of Exile was my humbling experience. I thought that I had creating my own builds down to a science. With all my time in D3 and the little bit I had in D2, which those are more complicated builds because you're only using one or two legendaries to make an entire build out of. But I thought I had it down to a science coming out of D3, right? I'm like, oh, I'm just going to make my own shit, right? Yeah. No, I wasn't. But I made something that was dope. Like, I thought it was dope. Like, the play style was dope, but I couldn't survive. I was getting one shot after the first reduction on my fucking resistances. I didn't even know that that's what was fucking me because I wasn't even paying attention to defensive stats. Like, obviously, I had a lot to learn, bro. Yeah, Poe was like very humbling, and I appreciate that. I actually appreciate that from that game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
no, I get it. But that's my opinions on Last Epoch. As a player who is not really into those ARPGs, I guess.
So it's 6 out of 10, bro?
6 out of 10, man.
Guaranteed, bro?
We've been on Last Epoch
for
topic
about...
for...
Yeah, I keep looking over and I'm like... All right.
I know you had some stuff, though. I've been...
Oh, no, I wanted the stuff I was going to pop. I was gonna pop at the beginning of the stream, and I was gonna make it. We're not gonna add that now. We're already in there. Man? We're already in there. I'll save it for the next one, bro. We are
pretty far in, yeah, man.
Yeah, we might actually have to wrap this up. Yo, you remember that? You remember that episode of the Chappelle Show, the wrap it up button? Did you ever see that?
I don't. It's not ringing any bells.
Yo, you gotta look that up. Wrap it up, B. That shit is you gotta look that up.
I'm gonna have to look that up. Yeah, because that's not. Yeah. The Dave Chappelle has so many episodes though. There's no way I know I couldn't have watched all of them. So.
Yeah, I know I haven't watched all of them, but I remember that one, though. I remember old boy is getting lectured by somebody, his mom or his boss or something like that, and he whips this thing out, and he's like, wrap it up, B! And I'm like, I'm done listening to you.
It sounds familiar, but I'd have to watch it again to really know. But anyway, we got a couple of topics in there, but yeah, this was I guess, my time to shine, or talk about Last Epoch, how I felt about it. That's just that was my experience so far. Who knows? Maybe we'll come back if we make it up to the corruptions and maybe give an update on that. Who knows? We'll see.
Well, I really, my final thought on the whole thing is one. I'll even take a 6 out of 10 from you just because I know that you don't like the genre. Mm-hmm. I really like the game. And that system, I think if they do a huge update to the merchant and the COF, and then they start adding in, because content to these games gets added in over time. They add in some kind of Uberboss system or something that you're actually chasing for other than just the gear grind at the end game. It'll be a solid game, bro. I'll have it at somewhere up 8.5, 9 out of 10. Okay. It's not there now, but it could be. It's got a lot of promise.
Yeah, and I can see, like, I'll definitely, even if I'd fall off of it, which that in these days
it's bound to happen.
It's bound to happen, right? With
me
games.
Too. Mm-hmm.
But if I see some update on some game website or something that, you know, I'm just gonna keep track of what they do with the game. Basically,
Yeah.
It's completely different from how I feel about Diablo, where I'm like, I don't give zero fucks on what they doing in Diablo. Right?
I just want my refund.
I swear. Like, but I'm definitely going to be paying attention to Last Epoch. So, you know, hopefully they keep it going. I mean, it's been around for a while, right, already. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah. Early access.
I think next week we because what's today? Today is
The
okay.
9th.
So we're gonna I like I said, I'm going out of town, so we're still trying to see if we are going to actually release the next episode or not. But even if we don't, even if we do, you know where we at. You know where to come find us. If you want our opinions on all kind of topics, that's what we're here for. Anything else?
We're just going off of I think for the last two, maybe not the last two, whatever. Today was off the top of the head. We just covered whatever the fuck we felt like covering. That's twice now. I was stumbling over my own words. Anyway, we just covered whatever the fuck we felt like covering. You guys, as the viewers, even though we've only got a few of you, y'all are all welcome to put down a topic in the comments below. We'll see them and we'll address them. We could just talk about whatever. I mean, that's what the channel's based off of. But if you guys want something that you want to hear opinions on, by all means, please put them in the comments below and we'll jump into that.
And also, if you want to see this kind of thing live, where we, you know, maybe go up on Twitch or YouTube Live and just have conversations with y'all in the chat, we can do that too. That's something that we actually do want to do. So
moving forward at some point,
that's something we want to get set up as well. So like I said, it's been fun. We've had some good conversation today. Thank y'all for joining us. As always, like, comment, subscribe, and we out.
Peace.